Hey everybody, George here, Catholic Positive Energy. I'm attending this really fun, really amazing Catholic retreat for 3 days here at the Christ Cathedral in Garden Grove. I wanted to show you especially this right behind me. Jesus walking on water. And yeah, there's a duck next to them. That's a real duck, by the way. It's not a fake duck. But yeah, in this broadcast here, this is my first time doing an actual broadcast here. And this is pre-recorded, because I only have my phone. I'm not able to carry my phone and my iPad. But, you know how I always have water as a symbol? Having this waterfall? Well, that's the old waterfall. But yes, this is our main picture for Catholic Positive Energy. This water here, I'm sure, will be a good substitute. Now, here, right before I start talking, I just want to show you this area here. Show you the Christ Cathedral here in Garden Grove at the Diocese of Orange. That's called the Arboretum. We've had some talks going on in there. This is called the Tower of Hope. Back in November, on the 8th floor here, there's 12 floors here, I was a guest on Catholic Men's Fellowship of California with my dear friend Gil Alderetti. This is the church where we have Mass. Right over here. This is called the Cultural Center. They also have a really amazing Catholic bookstore in there. Rosaries, Bibles, saint cards, you name it. All these amazing things right over there. And that's also where we're having our vendors hall. So, just want to show you this amazing place. This is the biggest, most beautiful church I've ever been to in my life. I attended a Mass here back in March. Now, I guess I'll call this broadcast, I guess I'll call it the name of this theme for this conference, Immersion, where we're trying to immerse ourselves in Christ our Lord, in His Holy Catholic Church. They're teaching us to be evangelists. This conference is being sponsored by St. Paul Street Evangelization. You could look them up. They're a wonderful organization. I've met their founder, Steve Dawson. Great guy. And they actually had us, as part of this conference, they had us wearing these different shirts. They had these yellow shirts that say St. Paul Street Evangelization with a QR code on the back that anybody could look up with their smartphone and find the St. Paul Street Evangelization website. We were handing out rosaries and just trying to talk to people walking by. Obviously, not everybody was interested, and I don't take that personally. But it was a way to evangelize in the public square. And we were doing it on street corners, so we weren't trespassing on private property. We didn't have any authorities trying to kick us out or anything. We weren't blocking traffic or anything like that. So yeah, they went over that with us. We certainly didn't want to have any of that happen. But I really want to talk about immersion, not just this conference. We need to immerse ourselves in the Lord. Now I want to say this, and I'm trying to become a saint. I don't know if I'm there yet. I'd like to be. I hope God thinks so. Only God can make that determination. I mean, if any of you think I'm a saint, well, I just say God bless you. I want to be one in the eyes of God, not just in the eyes of the world. So, I'll say this. For most of my life, for like maybe the first half of my life, from the time I was maybe not 9. When I was really young, even a little kid, up until the time I was about 19, my life was all about me. It was pretty much all about me. And I didn't really care about going to church. I was raised Catholic, but we just went to Mass once a week. We didn't really do anything else. I remember one time when I was about maybe 16 or 17, I went to an Ash Wednesday Mass bright and early in the morning, and I didn't even know what Ash Wednesday was. My mom had me go, and I didn't fully understand what all that was. But here's the point I'm trying to make. Now, if anybody is watching this broadcast and you're someone who was raised with no religion, or maybe you didn't believe in God, or maybe you haven't been to church in a long time and now you're just watching my video, I want you to listen up. Let this be your takeaway. Our lives should not be just about us or those we care about on earth. Okay? Our lives need to be centered around God. Now, even though we do want to have fun and be happy while we're still alive on earth, and that's perfectly fine, what the point is, God doesn't want us, we should not be selfish, we should not be narcissistic, and we shouldn't make it all about us or about those in our inner circles like families and those who we're close to, kids, grandkids, loved ones. We do need to love them, but our lives shouldn't be all about all these things. We need to be living in the world, but not of the world. As it says in 1 John chapter 3, we should not live for this world. We shouldn't just care about money or about worldly pleasures of the flesh. It's okay to have these things, and hopefully you're happily married, and you love the person you're with and they love you sincerely. But our lives should not be solely dependent on those things. We need to love others, to care for others, even those we don't know, and not do that just so we can look good in the eyes of those around us, but look good sincerely in the eyes of God, because you know God is watching us. He knows everything we do. He hears everything we say, everything we think. He knows about any dark secrets that we don't want other people to know. So that's why we need to live our faith sincerely, because you can't hide anything from God. You can't. Even if you think you can, you can't. At your final judgment, God's going to know everything you ever did, what you really care about, and if your love for Him and for others is truly sincere. So like I say, immersion. Immerse yourself, loving the Lord, loving others sincerely. That is always an amazing thing. Always. That's what we all need to do. And even though we may live in this world and we may have to see certain people who may not always love us back or care about those around us or do things that we would like, we cannot let those negative people around us drag us down. Even though we may have to see some of these awful people and we just don't like being near them or talking to them or walking past them, don't let them drag you down. You know what I've noticed, and I've realized this the hardest way, and I'm sure you've probably heard this many times. There's no love better than there's no revenge better than forgiveness. And if any of you watching this have known me since I was really, really young, you'll probably be like, well, my gosh, George, why are you... I wasn't always good at that, but I'm still learning the hard way. You know, there have been a lot of times when I've had some people, even recently, rub me the wrong way, and normally what I would have done when I was younger is I probably would have, hated them. I'm starting to do things differently. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but there have been some times recently when I've met some people who weren't always... Sorry, I'm just itchy. There may have been some times when I, met some people who weren't always very nice to me, but I didn't let it get to me. I didn't take it personally. I just responded by letting them know, and I've had to say this to at least one or two people recently. You don't have to like me. We don't have to be friends. I mean, I'd like to be. It would be nice if we could, but we don't have to be friends, and you don't have to like me. Okay? We may have to see each other once in a while. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to look at me. We don't have to do that. But I'm just letting you know I tried to be your friend, and these are the reasons why I don't feel like I can. Because I got to know you, and I saw some things that I just felt were not good. But I wish you well, and I hope you'll learn from these things that I'm telling you, and maybe you can do better. Just say things like that, where you make it short and sweet and to the point. You're still being genuine. You're still being sincere. You're still living your faith. And you're not being really nasty to these people, but you're still getting your point across. You're getting your message across without being really awful. Because if you respond to a rude, disrespectful person out of anger with anger, if you fight fire with fire, you're going to make things a lot worse. So, if you meet someone who's unkind, regardless of who it may be and why they're doing it, could be a stranger or someone who is just having a bad day. If you respond with anger, you're going to make it worse. So I would just say to this unkind person, listen, whether you know them or not, okay? Here's what to say if you don't know them. Listen, I don't know you, or I barely know you, and you look like, you know, I guess maybe you're having a bad day, or maybe you woke up on the wrong side of life. But, you know, I just feel like we shouldn't talk. Have a nice day. And just walk away. You know? And if they're still angry with you after doing that, well, then I would say you've done all you can. Don't be ashamed. But usually when I do things like that, I don't respond with anger. I don't fight fire with fire. I just tell them what happened. I'm honest, I'm sincere, and I'm still a little bit polite where I end the conversation on a positive note. Here's what to say if you do know the person. Listen, I can see that maybe you're mad at me, you're upset with me. I probably rubbed you the wrong way. I'm sorry. I apologize. Please don't hold it against me. I hope we can start all over and wipe the slate clean. You know? Hopefully they'll let you know if they are or not. Or maybe they don't want to quickly become your friend. Maybe they're not there yet and they just want to slowly, carefully, cautiously be cautious with you. Hey, that's fine too. You know? We may not rub everyone the right way. And people will not always rub us the right way. Hopefully they don't rub us the wrong way consistently to a point where we're just, you know, where we've just had enough of them. But it will happen from time to time. And I just want to say, immerse yourself in love and kindness, even if you meet some of the rudest people in the world. Or some of the rudest people in the world, if you're driving in the traffic and there are people driving around you who may not be nice because you cut them off or they cut you off, or maybe you did something they didn't like, you're not driving fast enough and they feel like they had to cut around you. That happens to me a lot. Don't take it personally, okay? A lot of people take things personally that don't need to be, and they shouldn't. And I want to encourage all of you, don't take everything so personally all the time. Treat everything on a case-by-case basis. Immerse yourself in the love of God. And you love others, even if they don't love you back. Be nice to others, even if they may not be really, really nice to you. Because if you respond to them in a kind, loving way, and I've had this happen to me once, they could very well be touched by how you live your faith and how loving and forgiving and how kind you may still be to them, even though they were not to you. And that could change them. It happened for me once. If you respond to them with love and forgiveness, even though they were nasty to you, they might very well be influenced by you in such a way and say, wow, that person lives their faith. I want to be just like them. I want to emulate them. I'm influenced by them and I want to learn from them. I want to spend time with them. I just saw a really good side of this person, and it's really changed my life for the better. That's how we need to be in life, especially around people around us who may not always be so kind. So, just thought I'd come at you with all of that, and it's nice to, you know, still take my show on the road and be able to, you know, be in some really amazing places and still have broadcasts. Like I say, you'll never see me without this hat during all future broadcasts, or without this shirt. And like I say, the book design, we already have it for Catholic Positive Energy. I will let everybody know once it's available. I know we have a lot of new subscribers here, so nice to have all of you here. And definitely, please, I encourage you to stay in touch with me. If you have any ideas for future broadcasts or anything you want to ask me regarding the Catholic faith, positive energy, or let's say you're a wrestling fan, you want to talk to me about wrestling, hey, we can talk that too. But like I say, immerse yourself in the love of God. And always remember, you're a child of God. Dignification is better than criticism. Live life to the fullest.